On today's episode of Unbinged, we're talking everything from Fallout Season 2, Episode 2, titled The Golden Rule. We got more of Maximus' backstory. We got the Brotherhood versus the Commonwealth, Hank, Vault 31, and then Lucy running into Caesar's Legion. So much to go over, all that and more on an all-new episode of Unbinged starting. Welcome into Unbinged, the podcast where we break down these shows and movies you'd love to binge. I'm your host, Alfredo Brown, joined as always. I got Jagger May, Kopfhamer, and Samantha Holt. We're going to talk everything from this second episode of Season 2 of Fallout. But first, let's get the spoiler warning.
This is your one and only spoiler warning for all of Fallout, whether it's Season 2, 1, or possibly the games.
Guys, I want to start this off with who's the real villain in this story? Or do we even need a real villain in this story? Because kind of the more you look around, everyone just sucks. Except for Lucy, and we'll get to that, but is it Vault-Tec, the Brotherhood, the Caesar's Legion, Hank with his... There's so much here. Kopf, I'm going to go to you first, because we got shit last episode for me and Jag not being gamers on this one. You are the one who has played this game the most. I'm about 2 hours into the game, so I'm going to go to you first.
Yeah, and let me preface this. When I've played the game, I've played a combined maybe 50 hours between Fallout 3 and 4.
Context isn't necessary. You are the lore master amongst us now.
I'm just saying. My brother was the Fallout guy. I was the Skyrim guy when we divided the Bethesda household. So, right now, the point of Fallout is like everyone's kind of the villain. Like everyone sucks, like you said. So at this point, we really only have one hero, and that's Lucy. And then Maximus kind of trying to be a hero, but doing it the wrong way. All the factions, though, are terrible in their own way. And that's kind of what you discover in the games as you play it. You're like, oh, these people seem... like the first time you meet them, like, oh, the Brotherhood of Steel, maybe they're actually like noble, and then you're like, oh, no, they're just fascists. Same thing with Caesar's Legion. Like the more you play these games, the more you delve into the story, the more you're like, everyone sucks. And that's kind of the point in a post-apocalyptic setting, is that because of the way the world is right now, everyone is out for themselves. And I think it's indicative when we saw in the episode with the rad scorpions. It's like the big prey on the small, and then they fuck everybody else up when they can.
Yeah, it's humanity. And again, like Alfredo said, we got a lot of stuff not playing the video games. Like, don't turn me off, guys. I actually want to play, and I've done a lot of reading on it. And like, I get it. And I'm totally into the premise of Fallout, where the real thing is like humanity is the enemy. And really, to, I guess, take it a step back from that, it's war, and war is inevitable. It's the entire theme of the first season where, you know, it's like, well, we all want to save the world. We just don't agree on the right way to do that. And that's kind of what we've seen. And that's why I've seen on threads, people are like, is this a propaganda against socialism? Is this propaganda against this? I'm like, guys, it's propaganda against every social construct humanity's ever made. We've got a clergy, we've got socialism, we've got pure capitalism, we've got chaos and anarchy. It's all bad eventually. And that's the point.
The thing to take away from this is everything sucks. Got it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Being alive's hard.
I was just going to say, I feel like the only other thing that you can say is that, you know, Vault-Tec is a catalyst to continue to cause the chaos and make it go further. I mean, you've got Hank that's just by himself, Vault-Tecing by himself, just creating chaos and just creating destruction on his own, just because he wants to. So I definitely feel like they are definitely the one that made everything else obviously happen. So you can argue that they're the bigger villain because they created everything else from the chaos. But to all your points, I do agree. I feel like at the end of the day, it's just humanity.
There's a little Robert House too. Is like he's the one who kind of pushed the domino. You know, the first one.
Yeah, I haven't played any of the games.
So Robert House is who Elon Musk thinks he is.
That's not good either way.
No, it's not. You don't want.
So
that.
Elon thinks he's worse than what he actually is.
No, like Robert House in the Fallout universe is like this. Like, think of him like Tony Stark level intellect, and like he creates a bunch of shit, and like he is the unquestioned like leader of like Vegas, and that's who Elon Musk wants to be in real life, and it's terrifying. We should not allow that to happen.
All right, let's go find him, and
now we're all on a watch
list.
What
we got to do. Yeah, thanks for that, Kopf. Let us know in the comments down below. Who else are you afraid of?
FBI agent watching this, tap in, hit that like. It's like
Hit the hype button. Hit the hype button,
Hit the
please.
hype button, FBI. We'll see you in Vegas. Speaking of all that, we actually do need your help. We need your love. We need your support. We are an independent podcast that is growing. So if you're watching here on YouTube, take a second to like this video, comment down below with your thoughts on the episode, which characters you're relating to, which storylines are most interesting to you, and then what you hear from us, something you agree with, something you don't agree with. Let us know. If you're mad that we didn't play the games, let us know in the comments down below. It's a big help. And also, if you're listening over on Apple or Spotify, leave a 5-star review. It means so much to us. It allows us to grow. Let us know what you want to see on this show, what you've been enjoying so far, maybe what TV series or movies you'd like us to cover or topics you want us to go over. Because, guys, we're going to be doing Fallout every Wednesday. We've got Stranger Things, which is going to be coming out Christmas Day. We're going to do episodes 5, 6, and 7, each their own individual episode from us. And then we're going to be covering The Pit and A Night of the Seven Kingdoms when it comes out in January as well. So make sure you're subscribed here to Unbinged. Now, Sam, last episode, Jag and I kind of talked about how this is a little bit like Game of Thrones in that you have so many different characters who I think only really one of them is innately good, and we're kind of testing that as well. How has this been for you, seeing so many different characters where you're kind of like, you're not necessarily rooting for them to succeed. You're just kind of rooting for the story to convene at some point to see where it goes next. It's very different for you. I'm asking you this because you have not watched Game of Thrones and you just caught up to Fallout now. So like, this is all one big continuous story for you.
Yeah, and I just binged all of season 1 in the last like week and a half, so that way I would get everything right at once for season 2. So honestly, binging Fallout is kind of a lot. Like, it's kind of a lot to take in because it's a completely new world, at least, you know, with things like Last of Us, dealing with something that's 2 seasons and kind of gamer. You kind of understand the zombie idea a little bit more out the gate. With Fallout, as soon as I got into the first season and going into this second season, I feel like every single episode, I have no idea what can happen next. And I've kind of learned very quickly, much like Welcome to Derry, not to hope for the positive, just to hope for things to continue to go forward on the journey and no one to get stuck or left behind. Because then I'm like, well, that story's going to have to pick up later. Like, just drag them with you. Because that's kind of what I'm also seeing going into this episode. Lucy leaves behind the ghoul, and I'm like, oh no, but he's always right, even though you hate him. Like, come on, just bring the guns with you. That's what you need. So I'm just kind of like trying to stay positive for Lucy, but I'm really very frustrated with how naive she is, just not understanding that everyone is terrible. And so it's a lot of frustration, but also just like, just keep going, I guess, because I got to find out more answers to this stuff that doesn't make sense.
The dark skeptic, Sam. I love that you feel the same way about Lucy. I was like, what has to happen to this girl? Like, what bad thing has to happen to where she at least gets it together? I'm not saying she doesn't have to be good. Or
I mean, didn't the bad thing happen already? Like, it didn't break her. Like, it's her own father betraying her trust and what's happened to her mother, and
Yes.
she kind of. And so this makes me ask the question, guys, and I was going to save this for the end, but we're here at Lucy now, right? She's supposed to be kind of the most likable character, but now you've got this character who I don't want to go off the edge and say she's had no character growth, because I'm sure that will happen, and it does seem like the intention of this season is to try to break Lucy and Maximus, their characters, down into shells of their former selves. But does this kind of undo all the character progression, Jag, that we had from the first season, where she has this big moment at the end, and then she immediately yo-yos right back to okie dokie and being like this character that we saw right at the beginning of Fallout?
To be fair, I'm going to put myself in Lucy's shoes with the only way I know how, and that's dating. Where everyone is inherently shitty now dating. Everyone fucking sucks. And you could tell
Thumbs
yourself,
up if you agree.
You can...
Not you, Sam.
It sucks.
It sucks, man. It's that, like, you can decide, do I want to be shitty? Do I want to be a shit ass? Do I want to be a fuck boy? Or can I continue to try to be good and then hope that I make a difference? And I'm not saying that, like, anyone I go on a date with, they leave a better person. I'm not God's gift to man, but, like, maybe if... I'm not joking, guys. Don't give me that fucking look. I'm totally trying. This is me trying to be humble.
Trying.
This is me trying to be humble. I am not God's gift to man, but I'm a close second.
One day.
It's just that, like, I don't want to be a shitty guy. So, like, I can just continue to try to be a good person and then hope that more people try to be a good person, too. And I think that's where Lucy is. But, and that's why I'm not so super upset that at least now in episode 2, she's not just capping random fuckers and be like, oh, you need help, cowboy? You know, like, I don't need her to go there super fast, but at least I think we do need a control in this environment. And Lucy's that control. She's the inherent neutral good or whatever the fucking alignment chart is. Tell us in the comments. But whatever she is, I think we need that just so we have a barometer to compare to everyone else. And that's kind of what Maximus and Lucy are, you know.
Yeah,
I like
exactly.
that you bring up Maximus because go Kopf.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I would have been more upset if we had seen the opposite, where Lucy, after the first season, was like totally like the ghoul and just like, let's kill all of them. Let's mission first. We need to see her as this lawful good person because she has been raised in an environment where if we all come together, work together, things will be fine. And so that's what she's trying to exemplify out in the real world. And it's a little naive, sure, but at the end of the day, if she can break through to one person, that person then break through to another person. And then that chain reaction can lead to a better tomorrow. And we see that, like, dovetailing into what you're saying with Maximus, or going to say, I'm assuming, is like we see that with with his parents, where the dad's like, if we just leave it better than what we found it, everything will be okay. And I think that's going to be a central theme of this season.
Yeah, it definitely seems as if there's, and Jag, we were saying this before the episode, and you're like, I don't know that I agree, but I think we can open this up here. Maximus and getting the backstory with his dad and what he's doing now, and he's got, you know, the armor. He seems to be like having no problem just mowing down ghouls. I mean, these are also like ghouls that are on a different level. He seems broken. He's got everything he's always wanted and he's unhappy. And there's almost a point here where he kind of had his Spider-Man moment where it's, you know, his parents died, Uncle Ben's gone, now with great power comes great responsibility, and he has his moment. He has his powers. He has his suit. And it almost seems like he's kind of not hitting all the right notes that he needed to with like this new sense of responsibility and self-righteousness, to the point that I can't remember who the friend is that is also in the Brotherhood there.
Dane.
But there's just like that look of Dane. Thank you. Dane has this look of disappointment on their face like the entire time. And I think that's just what we're getting to. I think we're going to get to the point where both Lucy and Maximus in this season are broken. And maybe we see something else where like the ghoul ends up having to be the one that's the most human out of all of them. Because if I'm being real, I think the most relatable character in this show right now is actually the ghoul.
That's an interesting point. Sam, we kind of are alignment on some of these things. I find Dane fucking annoying, actually. What was Maximus supposed to do? This dude challenged him in front of everyone, and Dane's just like, did you have to kill him? Yes, it was a fight till death.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
What are you, like, you're gonna judge me?
Well, didn't they also end season 1 by Dane making the claim that Maximus killed Moldaver when he didn't? So Dane's also like an instigator of like, you need the power, you need to be stepping up, and this was what that opportunity, and you know, arguably to stay. I don't know.
Dane's that video of the person like dropping the fries into the pot of oil and then it catches fire and it's like, oh shit, like that's exactly what Dane has done here.
Yeah.
Starting from when they injured themselves not to go out in the field. It's like, Dane, if anyone needs to shut the fuck up, it's you. You are Oscar Isaac. You created Frankenstein's monster.
But I can understand Dane's disappointment, though, because the reason they tried to elevate Maximus was because they're like, oh, Maximus can be a catalyst for change for the good. And instead, they watched Maximus just turn into like foot soldier number 1. And that's where the disappointment comes from. So I can understand where Dane's disappointment comes from, but you're right. Like, just sitting there looking shitty all the time is not going to do anything.
Also, it's time and a place to like step up. Like, that wasn't the time for Maximus to be like, now guys, should we really be, you know, doing this? He can go and tell them to stop fucking around and playing with grenades, like, yes, that makes sense. But like, in terms of if this is what everyone's doing in order to create change, this wasn't his opportunity to stand in the middle and be like, I don't think we should be fighting everyone, like, or each other. Like, that wasn't his time to do that.
That's how you get shot.
I think Maximus is doing the best job. I think he's doing a better job than Lucy is at making a difference, because he has the benefit of the doubt of being a surface dweller. Do they call them surface dwellers? I don't know. I just watched Black Panther, so it's just Black Panther 2. I don't think that he can go about change any other way, and it's small acts. You know how that guy's like, why do you wash your face? He's like why I don't want to smell like shit all the time. You know, he's literally teaching them basic humanity,
which he picked up from the vaults. He picked that up from living in the vaults.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So this is him trying to bring in some like pre-war humanity from the vaults into this post-apocalyptic society. And you're right; these small acts are what's going to lead to the big change.
Baby
eventually.
steps.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
you got to take baby steps.
Where Lucy's just like, I'm going to risk your health to make a statement. It's like, okay, like that's. I need you to fucking kill somebody.
Yeah, Lucy.
Dude. Like,
Lucy was in the wrong. Yeah, Lucy should have given the girl a stim pack and be like, "Go on your way," and then stayed with the ghoul and continued their mission instead of. What
she
was the
shouldn't have
plan?
even given her the stim pack, because I mean, she should have just asked the ghoul, "Can you just use your words and tell me why you shot that guy?"
That is, yes.
That's all it is. There's like, the misunderstanding is in the lack of spreading the information, and the ghoul has had 200 years of that. So as soon as he saw the situation, he should have been like, "This is exactly what's going on, and this is why it's actually helping us and them to just kill them."
This is why we bring Sam on this pod.
I don't know if you realize how healthy that is.
Yeah.
I do therapy.
That's incredibly mentally healthy.
I do the therapy.
I'm proud of you.
I do the therapy. I am healed partially.
There was a moment there too where Lucy talks about the ghoul brings up the golden rule, and that was the big theme, obviously, of this episode. And she says it's only for people. And so it's interesting that we have this persona of Lucy, who's sort of like the good one, the moral compass, and then we have to ask, like, what is personhood in this new version of the world? Because the ghoul seems to be a good enough person when she needs help, or when she needs assistance, when she needs protection, when she's off to go find her dad. But when the ghoul needs help, all of a sudden he is not a person. It's almost like she's willing to give more grace to some of those people she was kneecapping instead of killing, or this girl that she does not know that could very well be anything, which I'm sure the gamers are going to let us know in the comments. Thanks for that. Just try to avoid spoilers for people, everyone. But then not personifying the ghoul. I wonder at what point are we going to get him to be a little bit more personified, because we have the backstory. How much does Lucy need for her to actually give a shit?
We're just got to remember Lucy's like an adult toddler at this point, you know, and I think it's a little bit of, I don't want to say arrogance because that sounds aggressive, but let's say hubris. You know, she just has this like, I'm gonna be a do-gooder and I'm just gonna plow through like that. And she doesn't have a very good understanding that the ghoul is a product of his environment. Like, they're not teaching a lot of nature versus nurture down there in that vault, I guess.
Lucy's like an Amish person going out to the city for the first time.
She's the homeschooled girl that goes to like a big state school for college and is surprised by the real world.
Yeah, I hate all this secularism.
But also just like the fact that a ghoul was a person to begin with. So I just like, where you draw the line with humanity? Because in season 1, Lucy was so polite to the robot because the robot was polite to her, even though the robot 2 seconds later was like, "Oh, I'm supposed to harvest your organs," and she's like, "Oh no!"
But remember, in the same scene, she freed all those ghouls that were there in
so she treated them like humanity too.
Yeah, but what happened?
So this is almost
she
where I
got
wonder.
attacked. So she learned a lesson.
Except for there was one that didn't attack her.
Oh, the lady
she
one?
wanted to though. She's hanging on by a thread.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, I wonder how much of this is not necessarily growth or even a deterioration of Lucy's moral compass, but just a lot of Lucy still figuring out just what the hell is going on in the world. Like, it's I don't even necessarily know if it's one direction or the other.
So then ask the questions.
I'm with Sam, man. Like, I'm not gonna lie. When you see people in uniform, you need to ask questions, you know.
Yeah.
And like the ghoul said something. He's like, these people don't deserve to live. And I'm like, okay, is this a cult? You know, like yeah.
Let's
it's
explore that.
Why they all dressed like fucking Dobby or like Scrooge getting woke up by a fucking ghost? You know?
Oh, she mentioned the Christmas Carol. She mentions a Christmas Carol.
Oh, she did.
in the
Yeah, she
episode,
did mention the Christmas Carol, yeah.
Yeah.
Also, this is a video game scenario. I'm pretty sure I haven't played a ton of video games. I'm going to be honest. However, isn't there a rule that you don't go into the hospitals because, like, all the bad shit happens in there? Like, that's what they walked into. They're
Sometimes you need
screaming.
to.
Depends. You gotta loot that shit for meds.
Yeah, but you gotta like loot it, but you gotta know there's gonna be other things in there that you're gonna have to fight if you want to get the med packs or whatever.
Yeah,
like
like
it's
softly,
gonna be
Sam.
bad things. Like, isn't it a thing?
Yeah.
Tread
It is a
softly.
thing.
We're entering.
Don't
I
go
mean,
into
yes, it's a
hospitals.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Especially when someone's screaming, "Help me!" Like, just don't go in there.
I immediately was like, "This is a trap.
I'm
Why are we
good.
walking into a trap?"
Yeah,
so
this is a
calmly?
trap. Like, come on. No.
I'm like that, and I don't live in a wasteland, a nuclear wasteland. If someone
Whoa.
asks for me for help, I'm like, okay, who's gonna pop out with a tire and bust my ass when I'm out here? You know, like,
Arkansas. Wait.
yeah, yeah. A crackhead asks me for a cigarette. Get fucked, buddy. Go on, dude. I do not have a Lucy.
By the way, Koff and I are no better. We're in Florida. Okay, Sam's the only one that's in a not scary state.
I'm scared of big cities, man. You can't get me to go to LA.
California. It's beautiful.
California.
I'm joking. Y'all.
All right, so we got off track here, but back to we were talking about Maximus, the Brotherhood. At the end of this episode, we get the Brotherhood getting visited by a liaison from the Commonwealth, and it's played by Kumail Nanjiani. And I'm wondering, hoping this is going to be more than just a cool cameo, and it actually is a recurring character. But I also, from what I've researched in Coffee, you can let me know if I'm totally wrong on this, and the gamers, you guys are going to let us know in the comments as well. Commonwealth in the games is actually more of just a location. Am I correct on that? And then here it does seem to be a bit more of like Commonwealth is almost like an extension of the Brotherhood, or like the big bad version of the Brotherhood.
So the Commonwealth first gets mentioned in like Fallout 3, and then it's bigger in Fallout 4. It's not only a location because it's in Massachusetts, but it's also like a semi quasi government too. So it's like a loose collection of like leaders. Again, this.
So they're an
I've only played,
oligarchy. Is that one an oligarchy?
No, because an oligarchy is ruled
Cops
by
like, I don't know that word.
billionaires. But
If you have
Again,
water,
this
you're a
is-
billionaire in this universe.
only about 50 hours between both games. So my understanding of the Commonwealth is very surface level. But essentially, the Commonwealth is kind of like the federal government, and then the Brotherhood of Steel is like like a state government, kind of, if you want to think of it like
Got
that.
it.
So when
So
they're
then
saying
what
civil
would
war,
be-
it's literally like the states are trying to break away from the federal.
Seed from the federal. Okay. So
That makes sense.
what would be, I guess, the most interesting storyline from this? Because I know that with a lot of these shows, they do take the liberties of not just reproducing exactly what the games have done. Would it be the Commonwealth as sort of like saviors, villains, or maybe just a civil war, and watching these two kind of eat at each other becomes the most interesting thing?
I mean, a war would obviously be the most interesting thing to see on screen, and then see what type of, like, if I remember correctly, there's a weapon called the Iron Patriot. I forget the name, but it's a big ass mech robot, and it shoots nukes. So I want to see that on the screen.
It's pretty valid.
It shoots nukes just willy nilly.
Shoots
Yep.
nukes like
So
it's
there's
just
a
like
weapon you
minigun.
can get in the game that shoots mini nukes, and you can spam that shit. It's fucking incredible. It's so much fun.
Sounds like fun.
Sounds
I'm
really bad for the
interested in.
environment.
I'm interested in what if.
Yes.
Yes, because that's what we're concerned about at this point. The environment.
Get bigger scorpions.
We're going green. I'm interested at this point because, like, what if? Would it be interesting to you guys at all if the Commonwealth is actually good guys, and there is some sort of a recruitment process here of someone like a Maximus to turn on the Brotherhood?
I'd be down.
It'd be interesting, but I think it would go against the theme of like every faction is the bad guy, like in their own way.
Okay.
So maybe that's what they do is they're like, hey,
Or there's just
propaganda,
manipulation. It's a perceived
manipulation,
good
yeah.
guy.
And then he gets into it and he's like, fucked up again.
Because Maximus does seem to be at that point where he's almost looking at things as the necessary evil to make good, which is also just how like a lot of people look at government and voting and everything nowadays. Is the lesser of two evils or the necessary evil to get to where the ideal nation should be.
Yeah. That's the exact point I was going to bring up. It's the folly of a politician. It's just like, I got to play in the mud a little bit and win this game so I can change it. And then all you do is just get stuck in the mud with everybody else.
And then you turn into John
swamp,
Fetterman.
I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. Rest in peace.
He's still alive?
We're
Not in my heart.
Fair enough.
not me Googling who that is.
Pennsylvania congressman.
Got it. Don't live there. So we're getting the breadcrumbs right now with Hank and everything that he's doing, testing on people, right? Like, Hank, is there anything, Sam, you're the one that has like binged through this right now and you've kind of seen everything in such a short span of time. Is there anything to you that's redeemable about Hank at this point? Or is that line, it's irreversible, it is crossed, there's no other storyline here than Hank is just going to be a shit ass for the rest of this show?
I think it's that. I think he's just going to be a shit ass the rest of the show because clearly he's not even good at whatever job he's trying to do. He's just popcorning mice by himself.
And dudes now. It's just like, the mice didn't work. They're too tiny. I will do people. This will be the same or yield a different result, and I'm good with either. And it's like, no, you suck. Like, stop. Like, it doesn't make any sense.
I will
what
say
he's doing and why.
He got better with the yo-yo.
He did.
But like barely. He's not even he's not even good at whatever job he's trying to do. So I don't trust incompetence in the workplace. So I just feel like, he sucks.
Are you
Okay,
more
so
or
wait.
less likely to trust someone that's good at a yo-yo?
Yeah.
I don't trust anyone that's like, this yo-yo is going to be my new jam. I'm like, that's
like if you see someone who's really good at a yo-yo,
don't trust them.
I have minimal trust for that person.
Yeah,
They
I
put
don't
way
trust
too many
someone
hours
great
into
at
the
a
yo-yo.
Yeah, I was like, I need you to be adequate at a yo-yo. Like, you could do a little sleeper action,
Little
and then
walk
like
the
come
dog.
up. Yeah, but like if you start doing like some crazy pendulum shit, I'm like, buddy, you need to go find yourself a girl, mate. You know.
Yeah.
So
Don't
I'll
trust
answer this for you, Alfredo. Is Hank redeemable? No. He literally nuked his wife and an entire city because she wanted to live on the surface. So he can get fucked forever.
Yep.
As soon as he gets power, he goes full blown asshole with it.
Yeah.
Like he's a total little man. Like you could back at school when he was a hall monitor, he was snitching on everybody. You just know it. And
Randall from recess. Fuck that kid.
Yeah. We're not even asking the real question is how much worse can he get? He is not in a conducive environment for growth. He's in a fucking bunker by himself killing people. Now, I've seen Ed Gein on Netflix. I don't know if it's accuracy, but that was not a healthy environment for him either. I think that we are in this territory for Hank.
No, men left to their own devices by themselves is always dangerous.
Yes.
Let us know in the comments down below. Men.
Yes, I'm by myself at home and I have terrible ideas. Like, oh no, get away from your computer.
Thumbs up and hype. All right, so we're at the point here where we know that Hank is a shit ass. What about his son? What about Norm? Everything that's going on over in Vault 31, because there's a lot of like moral gray area, but also it's one of the same things we talked about with Maximus. It is the gray area needed to survive. It is the gray area needed to progress. It is the lesser of the evils. And we're not really supposed to like any of these people that have been in Vault 31 and been cryogenically frozen, but then it still begs the question of what is humanity? What is personification of these people? So let's start with this. Norm, has he become sort of the thing that he hated by manipulating all these people, or are we still down with what Norm is doing?
Are you a bad person that you steal from Walmart, specifically seasonings?
You say seasonings?
It's a real question.
What?
Like spices?
Stealing
Seasonings
from Walmart is like I no.
Don't
I'm
admit
just
crimes
saying.
on
We
the
gotta pick
podcast.
a better-
Don't do it.
What?
Let's
Moving on.
Let's run
Moving
that
on.
back.
Moving on.
No. I'm bringing up an analogy.
he's doing the would you steal a loaf of bread to feed your family?
That's what I'm doing there. It's like
But he chose seasoning in Walmart.
that. I still seasonings from Walmart. I do not pay for them.
Oh, Jagger, don't
This isn't the.
What do you mean?
We gotta at least go to
It's
Whole
the
Foods or
thing
some
that I
shit,
do,
man.
Sam. It's just a weird thing
It's
that
just
I do.
the thing I do. I like stealing. It makes my heart go
It
fast.
makes my heart go fast.
Jagger, that's not-
Yo, Jag's
No.
FBI agent is having a field day.
This isn't
There's the clip,
1700
by the way.
spice trade. This is I am not paying that much for fucking saffron in 2025. It's a goddamn herb that grows in the ground, you know. But that's not the point that I want to make here. Is that like Norm is tricking the worst people on the planet. The worst people. He's basically going to Walmart and tricking them and swindling them out of stock shares. Fuck these people. If he was going and manipulating the normal folks that he grew up with in the vault that aren't, with the blind lady from Deadpool, forgot her name.
Oh, Stephanie.
But,
Wow.
yeah,
What?
Oh,
yeah.
Betty?
In
Betty,
Deadpool,
thank
she's
you.
black.
I knew it was
Betty.
something regular.
That's right. She's
No, in
blind
Deadpool,
Al.
she's Al. Sam.
Blind
Al?
Al? No.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, she's blind
Betty-
Al. That's her name.
The new overseer
Althea.
of
What
Vault.
am I thinking of then?
I don't know.
We're all saying the same thing. Betty is in Fallout. Althea in Deadpool. Anyway, if he was her manipulating everyone else, because that's what she is doing, she is in the wrong. But all these fuckers who have been cryogenically frozen, who manipulated themselves to get into a vault and murdered everybody to make this happen, Norm didn't do enough. The fact that he let these fuckers live after he got out is more than I would ever do. My only issue with what Norm did is like, I want to see more of them vaults. I don't want more perforated story. I did like what Norm was doing in the vaults, and I kind of hoping Norm would lead a revolution. Like he'd go all fucking Viva la Revolution in there and shit. So
Speaking of,
Yeah, I kind of wanted him to go back into their vaults and then be like, "This is
I mean,
what's
who
happening."
says that he can't?
true.
They went back up onto the top.
Yeah,
So
but they can
he's
go
gonna
back
get
to
back
the
You just
vault.
knock on the front door. It's fine.
Yeah. What I'm interested to see is how this evolves Norm's character. Are we going to see him devolve? He gets a little taste of power and he goes full Hank, like his dad? Or does he try to do right by these people, even though, like you said, Jagger, they are shitheads? So I think that's going to be an interesting thing to see throughout this season is how Norm's character evolves, whether it's for the good or for the bad.
he's got some
I mean,
Malcolm X in him, like some like by any means necessary. Like Norm's got, he'd go dark. He'd go dark. I'm not saying he'd be wrong, but like Norm could be the ghoul in like one bad day. Like some shit happens and he's fucking just pop, pop,
John
pop,
Wicking it.
pop, pop. Yeah, I want it to happen.
I love that Jagger's just made Rico from Hannah Montana into Malcolm X. It's just amazing.
Rico!
I'm curious because I do wonder, like with him, I think that with Norm, we're gonna hit a lot more of the emotional beats because of who this character is, because he's been essentially left by his family and he's been in this incredibly horrible, shitty situation where everything is life or death. And I'm wondering if, Jag, what you're saying is right. He does sort of become this hero, but we do end up, to me, the most interesting thing would be not necessarily that these like shitty people become shittier, but that he actually sees the humanity in them and actually starts to appreciate them and want to be their leader, their hero. And he ends up leading them to their death. Like because right now he thinks the outside world is beautiful. He's so amazed by it,
trash
and I'm
everywhere.
wondering, like, yeah, it's just they're like, ew, it's so dirty, and he's like, it's beautiful.
Oh no, the
Look like a
mall's
beach in
gone.
Texas.
Looks like like a New York beach. Like I'm wondering, like, to what extent does it happen where he just becomes so disenchanted with it all that I think what could be interesting is where all these people actually do end up dying really tragic deaths, and it breaks him.
Norm's an iron. I don't think he don't give a fuck, my guy.
Yeah.
Does Norm, Sam, this is a question for you because you just watched season 1. Does Norm know the truth about his dad or no?
Well, he learned a bunch of it from Bud in terms of like a lot of that backstory. He didn't get all the same backstory that, Lucy and the ghoul got in terms of like everything and all the shit, but he got enough of the shit to know that like the whole setup down there was off, and they're just going to keep putting CEOs from Vault-Tec back into the vaults. So he understands that. And I guess because I kind of have a question along those lines. Bud is the little brain robot that has all the ideas and the plans for Vault-Tec to continue to push everything forward. So my question is, like, obviously all the Vault-Tec CEOs and everyone else that works there, they were all frozen. Are all of them the same level of bad in terms of everyone making the different decisions? Or there's some like menial different people that just don't understand everyone and they're all working at Vault-Tec, and then as soon as they get unfrozen, then Bud is like, this is the plan. And they're like, oh, I will go do the plan.
So Bud,
like, are they all inherently bad?
I think that's the story.
Yes.
I think that's the character development that we can get from these people.
Okay.
Because like when we first get introduced to Hank, we see him as an executive assistant that's just a big fan of the ghoul's former self.
Yeah.
And that like we don't know what eventually turned him evil or if he already was. I think what this does is it opens up the story more to give you more characters that you can care about, because like that's something too that we've seen also with video game adaptations. If gamers know the plot and the audience knows the plot, what really needs to happen to them is actual character development where you care about what's happening, and that even though you know what the ending is going to be, you still want to watch the show because of the people in it.
I could see someone who didn't know that ended up in a vault and be tricked. I think they're all bad, man. They're all I know we only got a little bit of context from Hank, where he's just like, "Oh, hi, Mr. Howard," ha ha ha. But
Mickey Mouse.
You got to be this fucking grubby, brown-nosing little bitch to even like get in that position. And he was clearly a corporate spy. I just can't get past that. If they knew that Vault-Tec was pushing for a war to have this 200-year-long game, they're all fucking terrible. No matter what they did to justify it, they fucking suck.
At the very least, they're elitist.
Yes, 100%. It's straight up. You're asking. I was just following orders. Like, homie, you were working a fucking job. You were not like you could have quit at any time. You could have snitched. Get fucked. I think they're all awful, grubby little pieces of shit, and I'm sorry. I'll cede my time.
No, that's fine.
So I think this leads into the next thing, though, because the ghoul, we know this from episode 1, is still searching for his wife and daughter. Knowing what he knows, where's the line there? Because when he finds her, he knows everything that happened. He knows everything that went down here. That becomes all of a sudden an explosive reunion where, no pun intended, where it's like she's just a shitty fucking horrible person. Does he just immediately kill her and try to save his daughter, or are we just going to assume we're probably never going to run into those characters?
Lucy
we gotta
ends up
run into
killing
those
the
characters,
wife.
or no.
Calling it now.
You know what, Kopf? I can respect your gangster right now because you've been shooting from
Nailed
half
it
court.
before him.
I'm not telling you not to take that shot, because like I actually want that to happen. Because
I think that's going to be the character growth for Lucy in this season.
I feel like the wife is going to be in that Elite Plus room.
I think it's the wife, Hank, and Kaisar, and she just curves the bullet. Wanted
It's all
style.
three.
Actually, Sam's cooking. Sam is cooking. Like they're all looking to find Lucy's dad, and there's that elite premium plus.
The
that
Elite
cracked
Premium
me.
Plus, which is
Yeah.
hilariously named, but that he goes in
Yes.
there to get the other Vault-Tec employee out. So like if other employees are just in Vault 31, what level employee is in Elite Premium Plus? Probably the ghoul's wife.
They're not employees. In Elite Premium Plus is when they sold to rich people. So those are just regular ass people that had money. And like he said, he's like, I see you bought one, but you didn't buy any for your family. So
Yes. Okay.
the employees are in Vault, excuse me, Vault 31 is only the Bud Askin program. There are a couple other vaults that have Vault-Tec employees that we have not seen yet, at least on the show. But that's why
Glad that I asked.
that's why the ghoul is searching, because he's trying to find the vault that his wife was able to get into. Now, why he assumes his daughter's in there with him, I don't know. We don't have that backstory yet.
Yeah, because I thought his daughter was on him on the
Was
horse.
with
I thought he
him
got
on the
Yeah,
horse.
like
Yeah.
when all the bombs were going off, or like was he able to get to his wife and she said, "Don't worry, I'll take her," and then like whatever. But nuclear, the bombs went off, so like everything went to shit right away. So that's
We
why
never
I'm
got
confused.
that though. Like we never didn't. If I'm remembering correctly, we just got him riding on the horse away.
Correct.
We never actually got to the point where we saw a handoff of the daughter to the wife, or if they made it to a vault, anything like that.
Bingo.
He went to protect her and got her on the horse with him.
Yeah.
And
So-
to be fair, we don't even know if we got to assume that maybe his wife leaves him or vice versa, just because he tries to kill Robert House, you know, and obviously that either fails or something happens there. I just don't see you can go and try to murder your wife's business partner and that's just going to be healthy for your marriage. So like maybe she's like, oh, thank God you brought my daughter, and then like takes the girl and be like, all right, bye, bitch, and like pushes him out and like locks the vault, you know.
So
Maybe.
I think we're gonna get more of that context this season, but I don't think he actually makes it to a vault, because if he knew which vault they were in, he would just go back to that one. So
Fair.
it wouldn't take 200 years for him to find the vault he dropped his daughter off in. So I think something happened in the interim, and that's why he's like, oh, I gotta find him.
All right, last thing to hit from this show. We get Lucy at the end running into Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey trailer. And this is supposed to be the introduction of Kaisar, which the commenters were very nice. And I genuinely, that's not sarcasm. One of them said you will earn more points with the gamers by pronouncing it Kaisar instead of Caesar. So Kaisar. Kopf, I know you don't have to give us the disclaimer again, 50 hours of playtime there. Can you give us an idea of what to expect here with Kaisar and Lucy? Because I will say, if the writing is any indication, we're in for something very dark and very scary, because this, I guess, turban-wearing character, I don't really remember her name or what the idea was with the character, but she said something very specific, and it was, I wouldn't want to see you get raped by the wrong people, which is just an insane statement. It's probably
there
just
right
I
people?
wouldn't want
I
to
was
see
gonna
you
say
get raped.
that indicates that there's right people to rape people.
Yeah,
which,
like
no.
apparently there's a right people for it to, yeah, there's just a lot. So can you give us sort of a lowdown on Kaisar and maybe what we can expect for the upcoming episodes? Because I think it's going to shift back to a Lucy episode.
It's bad. It's really bad. So this faction kind of posits themselves as a reimagining of like ancient Rome and the Imperium and all that. And so no beating around the bush. They have slavery, so it's bad. It's real bad. You have your soldiers, then you have everybody else beneath them, and they are literal like human cattle. So it's not good.
Dope. Seems like we're going to have some fun next episode.
That sucks.
Well, guys, first of all, we haven't said it here on air, but a very Merry Christmas to all of you that are watching or listening, and Merry Christmas to you guys, my co-hosts. Everyone's
Happy
very
Christmas,
festive.
Alfredo.
Happy Christmas, Jagger.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Chrysler.
We're going to be back again next week with our follow-up to this episode, Fallout episode 3 of season 2. But we are also going to be covering Stranger Things episodes 5, 6, and 7. We'll also be covering the finale on New Year's Day. We just finished Pluribus. We finished It, Welcome to Derry, so you can go back and binge through those episodes as you're watching that as well. And then on HBO, we're going to be watching The Pit and A Night of the Seven Kingdoms. So there is a lot for you to enjoy while you're here. Subscribe to Unbinged. So make sure while you're here, you give this video a hype, like it, comment down below with all of your thoughts on the episode. And if you're listening over on Apple or Spotify, please be sure to leave a 5-star review. It means the absolute world to us. As always, I want to thank everybody for watching or listening all the way through. For myself, for Jag, for Kopf, for Sam. Merry Christmas. We will see you next time. Adios.